Good afternoon, everyone, and I'd first like to thank all of you for coming today. My name is Lisa Chen, and I'm currently a junior at Cornell College. I am a triple major in politics, international relations, and women's studies. And today I'll be presenting on a glimpse of China's future, dealing with HIV/AIDS and public sanitation. And this was my fellowship I did over the summer of 2010. So a little bit of background, as previously stated, I'm the International Humanitarian Fund Fellow in Social Relief for 2010, and I worked in the Red Cross Society of China in the headquarters in Beijing from June to August of 2010. I worked in the project management office and was in charge of 3 primary tasks. First was HIV and AIDS outreach projects. Second was public sanitation programs, and third but not least, it was translating documents from English to Chinese and vice versa. For the purpose of talking about what I gained out of my internship, I'll be primarily focusing on the first 2 aspects of my internship. So I was fortunate enough for my on-site supervisor to hand me a list of different provinces in China that had a lot of impact when dealing with HIV and AIDS. And she told me I can basically pick any of the provinces and do my own research and see how effective, deeply effective HIV and AIDS are within that region, and how the Red Cross, by funding for a lot of the programs, were able to make a difference. So I picked Ningxia province, which is a very rural part of China. It's in the upper northern region, and it's the population is about 6.2 million people. And because it is such an impoverished and rural area, there are a lot of migrant workers. And these migrant workers are mostly primarily women. So they will travel to other more urban areas within China, and because they're not very well educated, a lot of them are sex workers. And they will get infected by many diseases and will contract things such as HIV and AIDS, STDs and stuff, and bring it back to their home, and then infect their husbands, who might also be migrant workers, and then infect other people within the region. So as you can see, it's a vicious cycle that China is trying to break out of. And the Red Cross, what they decided to do was build local clinics. And I was able to visit these local clinics, and I had to do a report seeing how effective these local clinics are and whether or not the Red Cross should continue to fund for the building of these clinics. So when I went to visit, you see that these programs have been around for about 6 years or so they're relatively new still. And they provide the citizens with STD tests, pregnancy tests, condoms, HIV and AIDS tests, and these are all free of charge. So what they're trying to do is promote citizens from coming in and communicating with the physicians, seeing how the physicians can help when dealing with these problems. And so what I decided to do was visit one of them and see how effective they are, and actually visiting them. And you can see on the picture on the right, people are getting pamphlets and educating themselves about why it is such a dangerous disease and how they can further help themselves. And their clinics are not only used for this purpose, but also used for a vast variety of other things. Such as the lady in the middle, you see it was an extremely hot day when I came to visit, and she was suffering from heat stroke. So what the clinic was also able to provide her was free IV fluids, and she was able to regain her health. So these clinics have a wide variety of usage, and I did conclude that they were making a significant progress. Another part of my internship was to do public sanitation projects, in which I also visited Ningxia province and compared and contrasted how the public sanitation projects were doing as compared to the HIV and AIDS outreach programs. So for public sanitation, we all know that we started developing sanitary habits from a very young age. So what the Red Cross decided to do was fund for a lot of the physicians to come into these elementary and middle schools and teach them about the different ways they can be sanitized, such as washing their hands after going to the bathroom and drinking clean water. So the Red Cross funded for new water pumps, new faucets and mirrors, furnished bathroom stalls, sanitation lessons, and toiletries for all children. And you do see a difference. You see children taking care of themselves more, and even educating their parents about the proper ways to handle sanitation. So this is one of the schools I visited. It was an elementary school within Ningxia, and you do see these new facilities offered to the students that are right outside of the playground. So you do see things changing within the area. So moving forward, what did I learn and what did I gain out of my internship? Well, obviously I learned how to become more fluent in both Chinese and English, because you're communicating with my site supervisor and everyone in the Red Cross in Chinese. And I also got to maintain my English skills because I was translating documents and updating their websites. So I thought that was extremely effective. And also learned how to quickly adapt to new environments. I was living by myself, and I was working primarily doing these site visits by myself. So by going to these places and working at these new environments, I learned how to become more independent and how to become more mature and deal with all sorts of different scenarios. It also renewed my passion for public service. Previously, I worked at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which was a very big bureaucratic system, and I learned very quickly that's not exactly where I want to end up. So I decided to work for a smaller organization and NGO, and I did do that, and after doing that, I realized that this is what I want to do. I want to start from grassroots organizations, see how my actions are really helping the people around me. So that promoted me to shift my plans for after graduation. Earlier I decided to go to law school immediately upon graduation from undergrad, but I now decided that I wanted to work for things like the Peace Corps, Teach for America, and apply for those things, and then maybe taking a year or two off before going to law school. Last but not least, I'd like to thank the Cornell College Fellows Program for giving me this amazing opportunity, and especially the fellowship which was made possible by the International Humanitarian Fund. I'd like to thank my faculty sponsor and advisor, Pranav Thomas, and the Red Cross Society of China for giving me this amazing opportunity, as well as the politics department and my other advisor, Professor Yamanishi. Thank you very much.